Hi, Renee.
Hello, Marvina. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am well as well.
Okay, good. I
Yeah.
see you're in a festive mood. I see your festive shirt and your little decoration. My background stays the same all the time. I never change. But yeah, so how are you doing the season? We're in the thick of it, kind of, huh?
Yeah, yeah. And I prefer that you not roll your eyes at me when I say this, but I'm doing good. I've actually been I've actually been wrapping gifts as I get them. So it's like mid-November. So see, I ask you please not to do that. But I'm doing okay. I got decorations up. I told you, I think I mentioned
Nice.
to you that I bought a artificial tree this year
Uh-huh.
because you just get so tired of the
Needles and
needles and
stuff.
all that. So
Yes.
um, it was pre-lit. However, the connections were bent, so I couldn't. So I had to put my own lights on. Tried to
Wow.
take it off the table so I could do that. It fell apart, fell on my head.
Oh
It,
my
it was quite
gosh.
an adventure.
I bet it was.
Yeah.
Renee, I can just envision you with the tree and the lights on top of your head
Yeah.
and the look you had. I can see it.
Yeah.
See, I would have just
Yeah.
returned the tree,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't even try to figure it out. But I
Yeah.
could see you figuring it out.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought, you know what? I have to box it up. I have to take it
Right.
somewhere. So it's
Yes.
like, just try to figure it out. But
Right.
yeah, so it is now standing. I've got to put ornaments on it. So
Okay.
I'm ahead of the game. And
You are because
yeah,
my tree hasn't even. It's still in my shed. But we're gonna bring it out. We're gonna bring it out maybe this weekend or
there you go. There you
today.
go.
So okay, okay.
Yeah.
Well, good. You had a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Yeah, yeah, it was
Nice.
good. And just ate too much,
Yep,
you know.
always, right?
My sister always thinks that there won't be enough food. So, I
Yeah.
mean, it's just like, oh my gosh, I think she bought 6 pies.
Okay,
So
yes.
we're still eating pie.
Got it.
She's,
Yeah. It's like it's that when you're hosting, you just want to make sure that there's always enough
yeah,
and a little bit to hang around after everybody leaves too,
yeah, yeah,
so yeah. And then
yeah,
every year you're like, why did I prepare so much food or why
yeah,
did I get so much food? But yeah,
yeah,
okay. Okay,
yeah,
well, good,
yeah. How about
good.
you? Did you have a good one?
I did. It was quiet.
Oh, good.
I always prepare a small dinner for the house.
Hmm.
So we can have leftovers. We usually go to my aunt's. This year, Armand and I went out to dinner. It was the best.
Oh,
I told him, I said, this food is just, it tastes different because I didn't have to cook it. I
yeah,
don't have to clear the dishes.
yeah,
I don't have to do any of that. But
yeah,
it was really nice. And then we just came home. I thought my intention was to hit a couple places, but that didn't happen. I
yeah.
just came home. And it's so cold this year.
It is. Yes.
And so that was the other thing. It was really cold on Thanksgiving, it seems
Yeah.
like. And so, but yeah, it was nice. It was nice. And I'm
Good.
still trying to, lean towards my Mary side. And so I wanted to be in the moment. And so,
Yeah. Yeah.
so, so I think Martha's going to be coming up here soon, but
Yeah.
we still got Mary right now.
Yeah. Just tell
So
Martha,
yeah.
go to your room, Martha, go to your room.
Right.
Oh
Yes.
gosh.
Well, I'm glad you had a great Thanksgiving, and we're
Yeah.
going
Me
into
too.
this happy holiday, the rest of the holiday season. Um, Today, so we're on our episode 66. This is our 66th
Yes,
episode.
ma'am.
And today we're going to have a conversation about the gift of.
Okay.
And so the gift of feeding the soul
Yes. Yes.
and what that looks like.
Yes.
Um so first though, I wanted to ask what was the gift did you have a gift that you wanted most as a child or a favorite gift?
It's interesting because when we grew up, because I'm much older than you, um, I was telling my niece this the other day, is that when we grew up, you didn't have stores with toys.
Okay.
It was like the toys came out right before the holiday season.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
we would go to the company store. My dad worked for Aerojet, and so we would go to the company store around Christmas time, and then you'd get to see the toys. But even in
Oh,
department
wow.
stores, they didn't have toy sections. It came out,
Really?
yeah, it came out around Christmas.
Okay.
So, so you didn't really get to plan like you do now, like when the Walmart catalog comes out in June and the kids are picking everything out.
Yes.
And I was telling my niece, I said, we got stuff like Lincoln Logs, right?
God, okay. What are
And
Lincoln Logs?
Lincoln Logs are little brown logs that you can
Okay.
build cabins with, and
Okay.
they're made out of wood.
Okay.
And they have little grooves where you kind of interlock them, you know.
Okay.
And I told her, I said, we would take one of the sticks, the Lincoln Logs, we put a toilet paper dress around it and call it our doll. We called her Blockhead. And
Oh,
then and, and then we'd make a little house for her. Then we make a little house for her out of the Lincoln Log. So,
okay.
um,
Wow.
but
Okay. So
and then
that was like the
Legos.
precursor to Legos, maybe? Oh,
Yes, yes.
got you.
Yeah.
Got you. Okay.
So, but I think one of my favorite gifts, because I was kind of a little tomboy,
Okay.
was I got my first Hot Wheels set, and
Okay.
it was nothing but the strip, right? No loops, nothing. But we connected it to the dining room chair, and we must have played with that for hours, just watching the cars go down.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Well, my brother had a Hot Wheels set, and yes, but I remember watching the cars when you said that.
yeah,
Just
yeah,
watching them. We had loops by that time, but we
yeah,
watching them,
yeah,
fly off. Okay,
yeah, yeah. So how about you?
okay.
What was your one of your favorite gifts?
My Baby Alive.
Oh,
Do you
really?
remember Baby Alives? They were
Vaguely.
the first dolls that you could feed. So,
Okay.
you made the baby food and you
Oh,
fed
really?
it and her mouth moved and then it just went through the body and you had to change the diaper. I know, I know. But that was, I think that in my, I had to, of course, I
Okay.
have more
Of
than one.
course you do.
That in my easy bake oven. I loved my easy
Yes.
baked oven. And it was just amazing to me that that light bulb just cooked everything.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But
My
yeah,
sis
those were
my sister had one. And yeah,
okay. Easy
because
bake oven.
because
Okay.
she liked the dolls and that stuff. So yeah,
Yes.
she'd bake I'm surprised that those pans came out a little hot, that here we are, little 6 and 7 year old girls were giving them this.
Oh, because it really did bake. Like now,
Yep.
I'm sure they have some version of that now, but I am sure with all the safety precautions and
Yeah.
it's not. But yeah, it was just the best.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
cool,
That's fun.
cool. Yeah, yeah. So anyway, um, so as kids we focus on what we wanted, right? But as
Hmm.
adults, and especially as believers, we learn that the most meaningful gifts don't come wrapped in paper, right?
Right. Right.
And we have to always consciously remind ourselves of that.
Hmm.
They come wrapped in love, in patience, presence,
Yeah. Yeah.
being spirit led. Um, and so, even this holiday, I've been talking about just being present kind of
Hmm.
this year.
Hmm.
And that has just been just a resounding theme for me. And it's important, I think a lot of times we're looking at what gift can I get that's going to make the biggest impact that they're just going
Right.
to be so happy about, right?
Right.
And it's good for that day, for that moment. But then what happens?
Right. Yeah.
We're on to the
Exactly. Right.
we're on to the next. Um, so So this year, I think I'm looking at God, what is it that I can do? What is it that you would have me to give? And not material things.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What is it that, because God sends people to us all the time that are in need. They may
Mm-hmm.
be in need of a listening ear, of an encouraging word, of things that are going to sustain them.
Right.
And so I've really been trying to focus on, again, God, what is it that you want me to give
Right. Right.
to meet, meet someone's needs?
Right. Right. And you and I had talked off screen here just a little earlier about how many people are lacking hope or joy in the season. If
Yeah.
we can give those things,
Mm-hmm.
you know, it's an amazing gift to somebody. Like you say, we always think monetary gifts,
Mm-hmm.
and things, and it's going to be nice. They're going to go, yeah, that's really, thank you. But
Yeah.
if what they're seeking is joy and peace and, hope,
Mm-hmm.
those are going to be the things that last.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. And like you said, our back to our conversation we had kind of offline. I think the world is in a place now where people are just, they feel unsteady, unsure, unsafe.
Yeah.
There's a lot, I had mentioned just I've even gotten to the place I'm like, do I even want to go outside today?
Yeah.
Because it
Yeah.
just seems the atmosphere, you can feel the shift, right?
Hmm.
And so, and we know our fight is not against flesh and blood, and we have to remember that.
Right.
And I really think that it's imperative, like, this is a time where we as saints really need to meet the needs,
Hmm.
um, the soul needs of other, because people are really, they're crying out. And I think that's another thing that being present helps us to do,
Hmm.
is to be able to focus, to actually hear the need that people are having. Because you have conversation with friends and family, and sometimes being present, we can give the gift of listening,
Yes.
being a sounding board for people. People are so full, sometimes they just need to release. And
Yeah.
I'm trying to be in the place of just listening
Hmm.
and not really speaking.
That must be painful.
Oh, it is. For me and the other person, a lot of times. And I get with my kids and some of my family too. I literally have to catch myself. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? Let me get back in my lane. I'm
Yeah.
just get back over here in my lane. But sometimes just being present, just to be able to let someone be able to vent. Because a lot of times I think we listen with an intent to answer or give advice,
Hmm.
and sometimes, a lot of times, we already have things, we know what God is telling us, or we know which way we're gonna go, um spiritually, but sometimes you just need to release,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And I think that is where just listening sometimes,
Hmm.
and in that, God will also direct you on if you need to say anything
Hmm.
and what it is you need to say.
Hmm. Right.
Hmm.
Right. And if you're, and going back to being present, if you're present and you're paying attention, and we've talked about this so many times, like in our kindness episodes,
Hmm.
a lot of times people won't say what they need, but if you're present and paying attention, like
Hmm.
again, I go back very often to what about the single mom
Hmm.
working those jobs, trying to keep the home going? And
Right.
what would it mean to her if you gave her a gift card just to say, go take
Right.
your kids to Chuck E. Cheese or
Right.
to a movie and McDonald's, you know what I mean?
Right.
So I think when we're present and we're paying attention, you can see because a lot of people say, well, I don't know what to do.
Yes.
I don't know how to, let's just say, minister,
Mm-hmm.
right, during the season.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there was a gal at work that I was sitting outside her cubicle just the other day because, of course, I
Mm-hmm.
volunteer at the office one day a week. Um,
Who? Okay, stop.
who
I
does
just
that?
want you
Who
to
does that?
exactly.
Well, I just miss seeing my friends, and I notice every time I'm in, you're not. So I want to know about that. Um, it's like, no, she decided to work at
You
home
are
today.
such
It's
a
like,
beautiful soul.
yeah,
And I'm telling you right now, when I retire, I'm not gonna be volunteering at
yeah,
work.
we won't
I'm
see
not.
you. Yeah, no, it's the gal I was sitting across from. I heard her talking to someone else about a mission she's going on,
Okay.
and it's to Mexico.
Uh-huh.
And so I had when Party City went out of business, I just cleaned them out on coloring books. And I,
Okay.
I donated some to the children's receiving homes, and I still had about 20 at the house. So
Okay.
I went over to her. I said, explain this. What do you guys do? And she explained it. I said, I'd like to donate these coloring books.
Okay.
And I got some crayons to go with it. And it's like, there are so many ways that we can help, whether it's through
Mhm.
your church and you think, oh, well, that's just a coloring book. But think about the joy on the other end of it.
Right.
When that little child who probably has very little
Right.
gets this little gift,
Right.
right? And so I think sometimes we look at, well, how do I minister? Well, just
Hmm.
pay attention. Pay
Right.
attention. Are there opportunities through the church?
Right.
Are there opportunities just like to take a plate of cookies over to your senior neighbor,
Right.
you know?
Right.
And I think all of those little things offer hope and
They
joy.
do.
And
They
like you
do.
say, that's really what we want. We want some kind of normalcy right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just
Hmm.
want to feel the season and the the hope and the love
Right.
and the joy of the season.
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah.
Um, yes, and I know you said that I'm not at work when you come to see me, but some days I am. And I'm going somewhere with this. But back to what you were saying, it's just those little things. It's you bring me you brought me a couple times this little like pumpkin shaped little coffee cake, right?
Uh-huh.
That's
Uh-huh.
filled with this pumpkin custard. And just that, because like those days, like sometimes when you come in and you come over and you visit, I'm like, it's the end of the month or the beginning of the month, or I'm bombarded with questions all day. So a lot of times, I'm kind of at the end of my social rope,
Yeah.
but just that helps to pick up my day. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Hmm. Hmm.
Sometimes you get into this mindset and you just see the negative, but just those small acts of kindness can help to change the trajectory of someone's day,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Um, I remember, and I've shared this before. I remember with the kids growing up and my mother-in-law, and this one Christmas, it was just Armand and I were at the beginning of our careers. We're trying to, you know, we just moved into a home. We're trying to get everything together. I think that particular Christmas, somehow there was some I got a hole in my ceiling, and like all of the insulation, everything just kind of fell
Oh
in.
no. Yeah.
And I was just at the end of my rope. I was pregnant with Arlesia. And I remember that particular Christmas, we were going to do one joint gift for the kids. And my mother in law reached out to us, and she sent for the kids to come with her to Kentucky. And I remember that Christmas, I was so thankful for that. But
Hmm.
I remember, so during that time, that same span of time, I went out to do a feeding with my church that year.
Mhm.
And, here I am feeling bad about myself. We have a hole in the ceiling and I don't know what we're going to do, get the kids for Christmas. And there were single moms out there with their children. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
it's the type of weather we're having now. And they were so thankful for the hot chili we had and, hot
Yeah.
apple cider. And it just really put me into a mind frame of like, really, Marvina?
Mhm. Mhm.
And I say that to say, because sometimes we have to switch our mindset, right? And again, what is it that we can do for others? No matter what our circumstance is, we always have room to
Yeah.
help someone else.
Yeah.
And, you know, you talked about like gift cards, and even for the mom, a single mom or a single parent themselves, they are the only parent. That means they have no time to themselves. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so even being able to, if maybe it's a mom that likes to get her nails done, or she likes
Yeah.
to, or just a gift card for herself to go shopping for herself, because we get lost in, what can I do for my children? And that's good, but we still have to be good too.
Right.
And
Right.
so I do think, like, like you said, those small acts of kindness, they make a huge impact on else's life. And again, it doesn't even have to be a material thing. It could just be your presence
Right. Right.
coming over to help for the afternoon, or
Yeah.
um, yeah, I'm not a babysitting type, so that's not a gift that I would be able to give. But I could help, come over and prepare a meal, or
Yeah. Yeah.
um, or just hang out with the family. But yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, we just have to kind of get out of ourselves. And again, this year, I think a lot of families are really feeling it. A lot of people are really feeling it. And so pay attention to the conversations you're part of, the
Mhm.
conversations around you,
Mhm.
because there are a lot of people who are very desperate right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we can be the answer to their prayers a lot of times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
A couple of years ago, I was in a Barnes and Noble. I was with a friend shopping, and she wanted to stop in there. So she was looking at some books, and I can look at books for so long, and then I just get bored, right? So I went over
Says
to,
the author.
yeah, I know, kind of strange, but um, so I went over to the toy section, right?
Okay.
And I'm looking at all the toys that they had because, like I say, when we were kids, we just did not have the variety that they have now.
Uh-huh.
And there was an 80, probably 80, 85-year-old man standing there just looking at the toys as well. And he was just looking. And so I just made the comment to him. I said, man, kids have so much to choose from. And he looks at me and he goes, you know what? He goes, I never got a toy for Christmas. He
Well,
goes, we just didn't have the money
yeah.
and he goes, I never got a toy for Christmas.
Okay.
And the line was so long at Barnes and Noble, but he left with whoever he was with. And I wanted to go so badly up to the front to buy one of those little toys that they have at the front and walk it out to this man. But by the time I saw that he got in a car and left, and it wouldn't, I was standing in line and it just didn't
Yeah.
work out. But I thought to myself, yeah, we don't know
Mhm.
what a person has been through, is going
Mhm.
through.
Mhm.
And so if we just pay attention and
Mhm.
minister to the need. And
Mhm.
again, I'm not a big hand out money at the street corner kind of person. I
Yes.
think I think I look more for people who are just trying to do the right thing and just working so hard and
Right.
probably weary from life. And
Right.
it's like, how do we feed their soul? How do we
Mhm.
bring hope to them? You
Right.
know.
Right.
I did see video just the other day on YouTube. I watch the shorts sometimes, and there was this, it's not Christmas related, but it made me think of this.
Hmm.
These kids, I think an inner city neighborhood, I think is, and this business owner, he has like a little, probably like a little 7-Eleven.
Hmm.
He tells the kids, bring in your report card at the end of the year. And
Hmm.
if you have a 90 or above average, I'm going to give you $100
Oh, nice.
and you can pick out anything you want in the store, anything.
Okay.
And so I'm watching this video, and these kids, they get the $100. They're very thankful. He says, now go whatever you want. And you know what they come back to the counter with?
What?
Milk,
Yeah.
eggs, baby formula.
Hmm.
So I think sometimes we have so much that we don't
Hmm.
recognize the needs of others. But you
Yes.
look at these kids who have very little, and their heart is, who can I bless? I want to take this home to mom,
Correct.
And
Yeah.
so I think we've got to get, like you say, posture ourselves in a way that we're aware,
Hmm.
of the needs
Right.
and can be a blessing. Isn't that
That's
what we're
right.
supposed to be?
That's
In
right.
First Peter 4:10, this is the New King James Version. It says, "As each one has received a gift,
Hmm.
minister it to one another as good stewards of the manifold grace of God."
Hmm.
So right there,
Hmm.
he's just saying,
Hmm.
you have a gift of whatever it is, listening, helping,
Yes.
encouraging,
Yes.
you know,
Yeah.
minister it to one another. Yeah.
Right. You know, and with that could be like, God put somebody on your heart, and maybe they're in need of just an encouraging word
Mhm.
at that moment. I talked to a friend, and I've been doing my gardening stuff.
Yeah.
It's not really, I mean, it is gardening. Anyway, Marvina, stay focused. Okay. So I've been doing my gardening, and I was talking to her, and I think I had sent her a picture of my garden or something. And she mentioned to me, we were just talking, and that was some weeks ago, but we were talking, and she was saying, and she had a tragedy in the family, and I didn't know, and at the time that she was going through it, but she was saying just receiving that text helped
Hmm.
to take her mind off of what she was really dealing with at the moment. It gave her a glimmer of hope. It lifted her spirits a little bit, because
Hmm.
it helped to bring her out of
Yeah.
that of the grief,
Yeah.
for that brief moment. And I do think that sometimes we focus on, like, we think ministry, we think it's this big thing that has to be done on the stage in front of all these people. And
Hmm.
in our just everyday life, what you do,
Hmm.
sending an encouraging word. Some people, I have friends that are big on sending cards, or you know um
Hmm.
whatever it is. But
Hmm.
I think sometimes that's what listening does too, is it helps us to hear what the Holy Spirit is trying to encourage us to do.
Hmm. Hmm.
um and it's really important, because, again, like you go back to the children. People's Sometimes people don't know how their basic daily needs are going to be met.
Hmm. Hmm.
And these are work people that go to work every day.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I think the other thing we get into is, do they deserve it? Right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, and sometimes it's not about that is not for us to determine.
Right.
If
Right.
God puts it on your heart, or if God puts somebody in your path, or you hear of somebody's, that is in need, and you can meet the need. And I
Hmm.
think sometimes we do that too. Well, I don't know if God is telling me to do it, but if it's been brought to your attention and you're able to meet the need,
Hmm.
what do
Hmm.
you have to lose?
Right. Right.
Even if they get it undeservingly,
Yeah.
that's between them and God, right?
Right.
And
Exactly.
sometimes God is trying to do something with us in
Yeah.
our heart. That is the reason. The giving sometimes is more so for us, than the
Hmm.
other person too.
Right, right.
Um,
Yeah. And I think what you said too about when God puts somebody on your heart,
mhm,
I think you have to pay attention to that because there's probably a reason. Like
mhm,
going back to me bringing the little coffee cake to you.
mhm,
I didn't know it lifted your spirits that day, but
mhm.
it was on my heart to, oh, I should take that to Marvina. Well, it 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 was probably God saying, as I was picking
He
this
needs
stuff
an
out,
attitude adjustment.
yeah, go
Hey.
go get her three of those. And I can always tell when I'm coming into your area
Uh-huh.
because I'll say to somebody that knows us both, I'll say, "Hey, is Marvina in today?"
Uh-huh.
And they'll say, "Oh yeah, she's here."
Uh-huh.
If I hear you laughing or talking, I know, but there are times I've come in, I don't hear you, and I'm going, "Oh," and I come around the corner and I can tell it's just like, you know,
Yes.
and so.
It's a heavy day or yeah.
Yeah, heavy. Yeah, yeah. You're
Yeah.
just going through, you got stuff going. And so,
Yes.
so a lot of times we don't know why God's putting somebody on our heart. But
Right.
if they come to you and it's like, oh, I should do that, or I should send that, or I should make a
Right.
call, just
Right.
follow through with it. You never know.
You
You
never know.
never know.
And it helps the person that might be going through at the time. It helps to bring them out of whatever that is.
Hmm. Hmm.
Because then because when those things happen and when you show up with coffee cake or and you're always giving me little gifts, which I really appreciate, but it helps me to focus on, you know what, Marvina, now what can you do
Hmm.
to help
Hmm.
someone feel the way Renee has made you feel in that
Hmm.
moment.
Hmm.
And so, and
Yeah.
then it takes you back to gratitude.
Right.
God, thank you so much because I was having such a heavy day.
Hmm.
And it helps that person to see God does show up.
Yeah. Yeah.
He shows
Exactly.
up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, and like you say, he shows up most of the time in the little ways. We
yes,
want it, we think it should be grand or we think it should
right.
be, but the little things are what get people through the day, keep
Yes.
them going, keep
Mhm.
them hopeful,
Yes.
keep them assured that God does care and is looking out for them.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
That's right. That's right. And to be people's safe place is
Hmm.
a great thing too, because
Hmm.
again, people deal with so much.
Yeah,
And if they can't, and a lot of people don't, we're very blessed and we're very fortunate, and we forget that we have family, we have a support system, we have a great circle of friends, but everybody does not experience that.
right, right.
And
Yeah.
self, I have to take myself back to sometimes that when people are getting on my nerves, I'm like, why are they talking to me today? Remember, Margina, it's not about you. And
Yeah.
it's really a blessing when people are feel joy around you. You
Yes,
know what I'm
yes.
saying? I know it can I'll not get heavy because it's not heavy, but because we have all these other things that we're thinking we need to do, and sometimes we're like, okay, I don't got time for this, but you do because God has sent that person, and I have to remember that a lot of times,
Hmm.
and especially at work because I am always busy, God, you placed me here for a reason, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And not just for other people, for myself, and God might be sending somebody to give you something, so.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
have to often, rein it in, Marvina.
yeah, yeah. Uh, yeah, yeah. So I liked the title, "The Gift of dot dot dot." So
Yeah,
what are we giving this year? What are we giving our family, our friends to feed
yeah,
their souls? Yeah,
right,
yeah,
right. And it was, I and I want to say this. I was gonna save this for the last episode, but we're here now.
yeah.
So, but I always, so for those that don't know Renee, Renee is very creative, always has been. I mean, she's an author, she has a couple movie scripts, like she's very, very talented and always has been. And I was preparing for our podcast today, I just thought about, again, when we were just talking about this, and I remember you're like, okay, Marvina, we're gonna do. I'm like, okay, you just tell me where to show up.
Yeah.
Where I'm trying to get with this is you're very dutiful in what God has you to do. And I'm very thankful for you and thankful that because you come up with Renee up with a lot of the ideas of what we're going to talk about. I just show up most times. And she doesn't know how I'm gonna show up. But but I say that to say because you handle it with a sense of grace and patience, and that is very I really appreciate that because again, when somebody is already struggling to do whatever it is God has them to do, that helps them to get there.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
and so there's many times Renee will send me stuff and I'm like, wait, what am I supposed to do again? And she's just so patient and she's like, okay, I'm gonna send it to you again.
Yeah.
And I am
Yeah.
very thankful for that. But that is a gift because everybody doesn't have that.
Mm.
Everybody's not able to extend that amount of grace. Everybody is not, but you're very patient in your what's the word I'm looking for? In your methodology, I guess.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I can tell she's pushing me a little bit, but you do it so gracefully. It's
Yeah,
great.
I just don't want you to quit. So that's it's like, I don't know who else I'd get. So I got no, I'm kidding. Uh, no.
But it
Uh,
is. And so I say that to say, I know if I experienced that from you, others need that. That it's a huge gift to people.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Patience,
mm-hmm,
being present, being
mm-hmm.
able to just listen, to sit with them, to hear what they're going through, to encourage them. It's a huge gift. And I think that we really need to pay attention to that and
Yeah.
how we can be of support to others.
Yeah. Yeah. And so now I feel like I gotta say something nice about you. No. No, I'll say the same thing about you. When I've come over to your desk, and there are times, I mean, I think you oversee about 20 people probably that,
Hmm.
and your business is in complaints,
Hmm.
from the
Hmm.
public. And so I've come over there before and I can tell you're over, I mean, you got stacks of cases to review and we'll be maybe chatting and just kind of lightening the mood and somebody will come over with a question and I've never seen you snap at them.
Okay.
It's always you explain it very, very calmly. You explain it very detailed so that they can go back to their desk and continue their work. And so I've never seen you irritated. If you are, you're hiding it very well.
Okay.
But
Okay.
but
Okay.
I think that's important too. I think you
Yes.
show the love of God
Oh, well, thank you.
by your presence in the office and the way that you respectfully deal with people. Because I know there can be people that can be overwhelming, but
Hmm.
I've always seen you deal very respectfully with them. So
Well, thank
I
you.
yeah, so I think you're giving gifts at the office too, you
Oh,
know?
thank you. Me
Yeah.
and Jesus have a conversation every time on my way to
Every
work. Every morning.
yeah.
He's like,
I'm
Marvina, get it together. But I don't feel like doing it today, Jesus. Get it together,
yeah.
girl. Yeah, and I'm thankful for that. And so I really want to, I really want our listeners to hear our hearts in
Mm-hmm.
this.
Mm-hmm.
Because like I said, the world just feels so unsafe right now. I've never felt like this before. And a lot of times, I'm getting older, so you pay attention to different things.
Yeah,
And,
yeah,
I think with wisdom, you can, you feel different things, but I just never, it's just a different time.
yeah,
And there are so many people in need, and not just of the physical things,
right.
but of the spiritual support and of the spiritual gifts. Our world is just there. It's crying out, honestly.
Yeah. And I think, like you say, we've gone through things before. We've gone through
Mhm.
economy things. We've
Mhm.
gone through things all of our lives. But I
Mhm.
don't think the spiritual has
Mhm.
been as oppressing
Mhm.
as it is right now. And
Yeah.
I think you're right. Just if we are that refreshing place that people can come to, that safe place
Yes.
when
Yes.
everything else feels dark and
Right.
hopeless.
Yes.
That's our calling. That's the
Right.
gift that we are
Mhm.
called to give. Yeah,
Right. And
yeah,
because of the gift that God gave us,
yeah, yeah,
his one and only son, it's his birth. We really have to keep our focus on what we're celebrating, and
yeah.
and that will help us to be able to move in the spirit that we need to move in.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
So
Whew, you
all I
feel
have.
exhausted?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it was. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to this holiday season. Well, Christmas and New Year too, because
yeah.
I'll be a year older on New Year.
Yes,
We're
yes,
thankful. We're
yes.
thankful. But I'm looking forward to it, and so I hope our listeners, you're looking forward to it. Please put some comments in. Give us some comments. Let us know what you're doing this holiday, or maybe some gifts you're able to share, or some things you're able to do. But we would love to hear from
That's all we want for Christmas.
you. I just love my Renee. Did you
Gosh,
have anything else, Renee?
I think that does it for me on my end.
Yep, me too.
Okay.
Well, until the next time,
Until next time, you take care.
you too, Renee. I
Okay. All
can't
right.
wait to our next conversation.
All right. Sounds
All
good. All
right.
right. Bye.
Bye.